As far as I'm concerned, I show 5 o'clock. So I'm going to call this meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is public audience. Do we have a public audience at all?
Dick, one suggestion. You want to take a roll call?
I was just going to, that was my next thing I was going to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I really want to do is we all see the pictures on the screen. If we want to just go back and say, I'm Jeff Shea, I'm here, I'm Dick Ostap, I'm here, go on and on. Next. Go ahead. Tell us who you are.
Rich Cortez, present.
John Salvatore, present.
Ryan Burns, present.
Bud Kelly, where are you?
I'm here. You got to call me.
Got to say it. Bud Kelly, present. Okay, then our guests are Andrew. You're here, right?
Yeah, present.
Okay, Jackie.
I'm here.
And the people from Downs. Who's that here?
Mark Wickman.
Okay. I guess we're all. Jeff, are you here?
I am here.
Okay. All right, we can move forward, I guess now, right?
Rico Cirillo from KBA also. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Enrico,
Ken
okay.
Romeo's from Colliers is here.
Yep. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. The next would be the approval of our April 13th meeting minutes. Could I have a motion first?
Second.
Second, okay. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Anyone? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. So
Abstain.
thank you. Okay, the next
Dick.
item.
Dick,
Yes, sir.
I abstained on that.
Okay, the secretary's got to get that. Did you get that?
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
You got it. She's
Okay.
good. She's good. She's real good. She does a good job. I can't believe the minutes from the recording we had were as good as they were. They did a nice job. Thank you very, very much. Now there's a nice young lady sitting here, Jackie Batos, who is a member of the Board of Selectmen? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Board of Selectmen liaison. Jackie, any comments?
No comments, Mr. Chairman.
No comments today. Oh, wow. Anything new coming up, they're here?
We're still in the middle of budget, and it looks like we are going to defer to the Board of Finance we won't be having a public referendum.
Oh.
So that's what we're in the middle of right now.
Yeah. God bless. Join the group. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Thank you, Jackie. Moving on, of course, is our main reason why we're here is the Henry James Memorial School Project. And here we go, sir. You're on.
Okay, project update. We're approximately 76% complete. Total anticipated GMP, 18,842, 652.26. Remaining CM contingency, 445, 671.09. Remaining allowance, trade contractor allowance, 780, 885.77, approximately 15.2% utilization. And then GMP allowances remaining 635,1852, approximately 58.4% utilized.
Wow.
Any question regarding the financial summary?
It's too high, but go ahead.
Schedule update, work completed. We do have a certificate of completion for the rooms that are listed here. When we go to work in progress on the second page, you can see where we're pulling in work from phase 4 and phase 5 as a result of the school not being in session at the property right now. So there's a tremendous amount of work that's going on there. I would anticipate.
Hold on a second. Those things that you're talking about, they were not part of the original contract, though, were they?
I'm sorry?
Those things that you show now in phases 3 and 4, they were not part of the original contract that we have signed with you for this project, was it, Jeff?
Absolutely, they are. What I'm saying to you is that we've accelerated our work, and we've taken work from there's 6 phases of development, right, Dick? There's phases 1 through 5 and 1A, right? So phase 3 concludes itself the end of this month. However, as a result of the school being out of session, we've been able to accelerate our work in phases 4 and 5 and pull it into phase 3. and that's what I'm representing here.
Okay, I hear you. Okay.
So I would anticipate at our next meeting, we will have a certificate of completion, maybe one or two more that will reflect the work in progress we see here. In phase 5, the locker room abatement is almost complete. We're getting ready to saw cut floors and rough in there. The auditorium, the carpet install now is substantially complete. We continue with the AV punch down, a lot to do there. Mechanical commissioning is ongoing. We have 2 open items in the CX log, but everything's moving along very, very well. Work to start. This month, I would anticipate all of the Picado panels being installed. We have our first delivery of 75 panels shipped on Friday. And we have 2 other shipments coming earlier this month that'll conclude those deliveries. So Colliers and DCC have a close eye on all of that. We don't want to install the curtains till we're completely cleaned in there. We're final cleaned. So we're anticipating that. We've got some touch-up painting going on in there. And we will, as soon as the AV concludes itself, we'll have the electrical commissioning will take place.
Wow.
So that's what I have for you in terms of a schedule update. You have the master schedule update as part of your package.
Yeah, I don't kind of, approximately, what do you feel is going to be these will be completed on?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
When do you think these items will be completed?
I would anticipate that the work in progress, all of that work will be done by the end of the month.
Oh, really? Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
But by the end of the month, yep, that's what I would anticipate. We're very optimistic that we will get an early start on the fax wing. So if we have an extra month to build that wing,
You just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask Andrew that. Andrew, are you hearing anything about opening later or sooner?
No, everyone is really waiting on guidance from the governor. But the thought is that
What's the gut feeling?
gut feeling is we're most likely not, but I'm certainly not the one to make that call.
That's why I mentioned the mic just going to, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, that's all right. So moving right along to action items, everybody's favorite subject change. Cop 37 is back in here. You folks have that cop at 111-407-50. However, I continued my negotiation with Greenwood and Ferguson over the last couple days. I republished 37 very late this afternoon. It is now at 106-583-95. 106-583-95.
I'm sorry, what's the change order number again?
37. It's the first item on the list, page 3.
Okay, got it. Okay, so the item now is how much?
Although what you have in front of you reflects 111-407-50.
Yeah.
The number as it currently stands is 106-583.95.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. Second? Second, Corey's second. Okay, any comments? Can you tell us a little bit about it before we disapprove it, please? Provide for what? Related guidance suite?
I'm sorry, you're speaking to me, Dick?
Yes.
The scope of work involves restructuring the existing framing in there. We had to cut some of the track away on the bottom for the abatement, so we'll restructure all of that. You're going to get a brand new sound attenuated walls, gypsum systems. You'll have brand new rough power in there, low voltage systems, new ceilings, new lighting. You have a new mechanical system in there. What else can I tell you about it? Carpet and paint and blinds and doors, frames and hardware, which were under a COP 160, right. You'll recall. Okay. You have roofing work now as a result of the new ERV. Right.
Okay, that gives us a little.
That's substantially it.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, so approved.
I have a quick question on 37. Sorry, I was on mute.
Go ahead.
in the COP, I see schedule impact reservation due to COVID-19.
Yep.
Can you explain to me why you're putting that in the COP?
I put it in the COP as I do in the discussions at the very end of this document. We've been very fortunate in terms of labor, material, and equipment. I can't tell you, we've been very, very fortunate. We made some very good decisions early on to expedite deliveries, provide storage. This was prior to a good understanding of what was going on with COVID-19. So for our base contract, we have substantially every single piece of ductwork and mechanical components staged and ready to go. But you know, you folks are going to approve this, and we're gonna begin ordering. You'll recall with COP 160, the lead time on the doors was 8 to 10 weeks. So by authorizing that, we're optimistic that those will be on site.
Okay, you're all set. So let's move on, so we're not here all night. COP number 37 has been approved. Let's move on to COP 111.
This is the new dust collector. So this is out of scope. It's at 67-148-25. The PBC will recall that they tabled it. They wanted duct testing done. That duct testing was facilitated today. CES was in attendance, and we could not get the duct work associated with EF4 to pressurize. It bled out. It continued to bleed out throughout the testing period. CES can speak to that. We'll have all the reporting. We did, out of the scope of this work, the contractor did try to investigate where some of the leaks might be coming from and attempt to close them up to see if we could get that duct to pressurize, but we were unsuccessful.
So this is a pass? We're going to pass this one?
I beg your pardon?
We're going to pass 111?
It's entirely up to you folks.
Mark and Dick, Mark?
Yeah.
Respectfully, I think what you're discussing right now has to do with the next two change orders down, exhaust fans. This is the dust collector.
Oh, oh man, you know something, Enrico? You're absolutely right. I apologize. I apologize. This is COP 111 for the dust collector. Yep, 67-148-25. Yep.
Okay. That's what I want to make sure we got the right one. So, okay.
You sure do. Yep. Thank you, Enrico.
No problem.
Do we have a motion for 111, please?
So moved.
Second. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
So passed. Okay, move on to the next one. 120.
123 coming out of general requirements. No impact to the GMP. $640.39 for the removal of all the temporary gas lines and closing up that that manifold at the valve we had installed.
Your motion?
So moved.
This is showing a zero cost change, or is that because it's coming out of general requirements?
That's right. We show 640, the cost of 640 coming in and going out equaling zero because it's within the GMP.
Right.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So passed. Next, moving on to 133.
Halftime for Ovation panel installation, off hours work, Saturday work to allow the contractor to work overhead with lifts and wire their systems and install their panels. They just chewed up all the real estate in that room during that period of time. So we put them in there when nobody else was in there. We're paying that out of the contingency. No increase to the GMP, $1,292.94.
Your motion to approve?
Yeah, so moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, next, COP 142.
Okay, here's the exhaust fan, 142 PRO3. So I did brief you on that. I don't know that there's much more to say about that. Enrico, you have anything that you want to share? I don't know if
No, I do not. I saw Bill's information today, which was very good. You know, obviously they're going through some functions to prepare for the test, and he had to put some material on some of the ducts and let it dry. So the process will continue.
Okay. Andy, you have any comments? Andrew?
Yeah, it just took me a minute to unmute. No, I applaud the work to troubleshoot the ducts, and anything we can do to expedite the adoption of those new exhaust fans would be great, because we still want to try to close out room 234.
Oh, that's right. That's the room. Yeah, right.
I'd like to just comment on what's the lead time on the advance. My concern is that if we start, instead of September, we might have high conditions.
Hold on. Somebody's talking. We can't hear him. You're muted. Try again.
Sorry.
Who was that? Okay, do I have a motion for 142? Hello?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So approved. Moving on to next 155.
Okay, PRO8, lectern logo credit. This work was removed from our scope of work. The town's going to buy their own logo for their lectern, $120 being given back to the town.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
But do you want to make a motion first?
Sorry, motion. I beg your pardon. Yes, please.
So moved.
So moved. Approve
Thank
it.
you. Figured it was 120 bucks.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to
It's back.
156, please.
156, halftime authorization for painting in March. 634.13 coming out of the contingency.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hey.
So moved. Okay, moving on. Next one, 161.
Exterior wall repairs, metal paneling at the existing building adjacent to the new media center connector. This is for Ultimate Construct. This is out of contingency, zero cost to the GMP. Something that was unforeseen when we dismantled the exterior wall and had to realign the existing metal panel in there. So this was to have them come back and assist us with that. $1,082.66.
A motion?
So moved.
Second? Comments?
Second.
Okay, any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Okay, next one is 163.
Out of scope, $1,578.23. An additional light at the C100 vestibule.
Why wasn't that in the contract originally?
It wasn't designed. It wasn't designed. There wasn't a light there. One was requested. We haven't done it. We don't have to do it, Dick.
Who requested it?
A question was asked under RFI 177. The design team looked at it and requested an additional light.
Didn't it have something to do with where they were going to place the shelving for that?
No, not this item in particular.
Not that one. Oh. This is weird. Andy, any comment?
Yeah, I believe the light is necessary. If I'm not mistaken, Mark, are these the doors at the back of the auditorium? If you were to have to go out those back doors?
Yep. That's C100.
Yeah, so that's...
Mine didn't get that. That's sad.
It'd be a pretty dark area without a light there.
Yeah, I agree. But it wasn't in scope. That kind of bothers me. Why the architect didn't pick that up in the original design?
Yeah. I need to look into that. I guess I didn't review that close enough.
I think we should. I think we should hold this one off until you come up with an answer, because that's a design issue. I mean, let's face it, they designed an auditorium as huge as it is, front, back, sides, and they didn't have lights coming out the exit doors. I mean, that's...
Let me obtain some more info on it, and I'll report back to you, please.
Will you look back at that with the architect, and even
Sure.
there's engineering firms should have picked that up.
Okay, we'll check. I will
John,
check into
agree
it.
or not, John Salvatore?
Yeah, we'll find out what the circumstances are. It's fine.
Okay.
So, I mean, generally, if it's not on the plan, it means you didn't pay for it. So if you want it, you got to pay for it. Generally speaking.
No, but then, either that or the architect messed up, it goes against the architect.
Well.
Jeff, you any comments?
Let them find out the details and then we'll go from there.
Okay, let's find out the details and we'll go from there. So we're holding off on 163, moving on to 164.
4 items under this COP. It's coming out of the trade contractor's allowance, $2,860.99. This COP was reviewed in detail with Jeff, Andrew, Ken from Colliers. They understand the scope.
All right, so it's not costing us anything. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Oh, second?
Second,
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. All right, moving on to 165.
Utilized John Filaramo a little over a month ago to reorganize with their lull and an operator, areas C and E. As a result of that, the site improvements in area C and area E are a month ahead of schedule. So we've paved all of our trees have been delivered. We're planting this week. We're a month ahead of schedule. This is coming out of the general requirements with no. This should read zero cost to the project.
Zero cost. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. I'll wait for a motion.
Go ahead. Somebody was saying something?
After we have the motion, I'm a little curious why a progress cleaning is part of a change at all and not just part of the general requirements and isn't part of
no problem. I can answer that question. So the contractors were always asked to stage in area C and area E accordingly. When the superintendent from DCC left for Puerto Rico, I was on site and I began managing the job in the capacity of a superintendent, and I saw an opportunity to accelerate the site work. As a result of that, I asked the masonry contractor with his lull to begin moving all the trade contractors' material and consolidating it to area E. I could have never, I associate this with progress cleaning, with cleaning up the property. There's no cost as a result of that decision, we're a month ahead of schedule. So I think it was some money. It was money that was very well spent, quite honestly.
But you just said there's a zero account now for this.
It is.
It's not. There's nothing coming off the GMP, but it's money that we won't be getting back if we're adding it to the general requirements.
You're not adding it. You're taking it. You're taking it from the general requirements.
Right.
Yep. Nope.
Which is there's less there for other items should we need it.
I suppose. Yeah. Logically, I suppose that's true. There's quite a bit of. There's substantial funds left in this project. I mean, if we were to look, and any concern that you might have with regard to that, we can revisit that on page 1.
Yeah. Okay, but this one here is going to be zero at this point now. Is that correct?
It is zero, and it doesn't reflect that on the agenda. I apologize for that, but yes, it is. It's coming out of the general requirements, and it's zero exposure to the GMP.
Is that okay, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the only exposure that I'm worried about. It's GMP is the guaranteed maximum price, not the total cost of the project. And
I'm with you on that, believe me.
So I see progress cleaning on a CO. I understand that you brought someone in, but generally, I don't like to see that something that we paid for in our contract being tacked on as a CO. But I don't have a particular issue with this one if the rest of the committee doesn't.
John, what's your feeling on this? John, you do this quite often. What's your feeling?
Well, you're asking the mason to do something that wasn't his responsibility. So you got to pay him. And you basically, whether they brought somebody else in or not to move the equipment, I mean, technically each trade should move it, it's a small amount. I understand what he did. I would let it go.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Item COP 166.
This is a back charge between two contractors, 642811.
And
No
what
impact to the
result of?
GMP.
Why?
Because the subcontractor's blast track was locked up in a COVID-19 facility that was shut down. So I needed to find another blast track. I got it from AmVets, and I negotiated the back charge between the two contractors.
Yeah, so you're going to pay one and back charge the other.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a no cost. It's a net zero to us completely.
This basically
You're just notifying us of the cost. That's all.
this is not going to be taken into any of our areas. It's going to be a zero. Is that correct?
Yep, it is. It's zero.
We want to get that in the minutes so we know that's what we're
Yep,
saying.
you know it. I agree. Yep, it's zero.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
It doesn't even need to be a change order, quite honestly. You do that internally on your side.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Hello?
You want to talk about that? That's an interesting topic. I've been told that any cop that I generated has to come before you folks.
Yeah, we want to know about it, but we don't have to vote on it if it was a result of.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. So we'll see a credit. We'll see a credit on the on Barrel and Conover's contract and an add to.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure
I mean, that
will.
could be done either way.
Chairman.
Hold on.
Dick.
Hold on. You're cutting in a meeting here. Who are you? What we can do for you?
Yeah, this is Richard Durr.
Sure,
Been on
okay.
hold for about 20 minutes, and somebody just pushed the magic button, so now I'm in the meeting.
Okay, please join us. We're on.
I'd like to know where we are in the meeting. You say you're on a change order. What number is that?
I'm just trying to tell you, Richard, if you just listen to me, we're on change order COP 166, which is
166. Thank you very much.
Okay, and now we have a motion has been on that. All those in favor of that motion, so am I saying aye?
Aye.
All right.
So approved. Okay, moving on, COP number 167.
This is a proposal request. This work has not been purchased. It's out of scope. The school asked for some window film to be put on a bank of windows in one of the connectors so that the sun would not degrade the books in that part of the wing.
We don't have an architect representative here, but why are we getting all these things asked for?
Stop.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
Thought you were here.
Why are we part of the original scope?
Answer to your question, Dick. Basically, there is a low E film coating at the third surface of the window. It's not to the capacity that you would use, obviously, for library purposes. The small bank of windows does allow, let me say, a ray of light to flow through early in the morning. This is additional UV protection that obviously was not taken into account. I guess, as Richard would say, it is a betterment.
Wow. Any other comments?
Can you
Motion
speak
to,
for me? Richard Durr would say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're saying it's value added.
Yes, value added.
That's what I would say. I wouldn't say
That's
it's a
what
better.
you said. That's the term. I was-
Value added. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
okay, thank you, Richard. Okay, all those in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Moving on to 168.
This is a request to continue progress cleaning inside the building, coming out of the general requirements with a zero cost to the project. So again, we've taken on a tremendous amount of work in phase 3. We have a lot of open areas in there. They have a very light janitorial staff, the school, and there's a lot of cleaning, a lot of progress cleaning that can be done. And we'd really like to kick it in the pants and get that behind us. So it is part of the contract. It's part of Division 1. It's part of the Connecticut High Performance Standards. It is a requirement. It's going to promote a safer workplace for everybody, better indoor air quality. And I know everybody wants that, especially in light of what's going on with this COVID issue. So we'd like to, this ask would allow for 2 men from Horizon to be with us throughout the month of May and help us better prepare the interior of this building.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Well, what does our contract say about this progress? Again, I don't like seeing progress cleaning, which I would presume is in.
Okay, so we.
Well, let me, if I could, it's simple. They have an allowance for cleaning. This is going against the allowance. I mean, it's that simple, I think.
It is that.
I have a question, Richard Durr. Question, is this cleaning we're doing ahead of schedule related to the fact that we're moving forward a little quicker than we anticipated, which is fine?
Yes.
Or is this, so
yeah,
this is
no,
cleaning due to the
I would say that much of it is associated with that. We have a tremendous amount of work that's open right now that we didn't anticipate, that we accelerated as a result of the school stepping away, if you will. So
Right,
there's a lot of cleaning that can be done in there.
But then why is that a change? You're just doing it out of sequence, but it's why is it?
It's not a change, Ryan. Right.
I don't know. Mr. Salvatore, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, if I could. It's not a change. All you're doing is telling us that you're spending the money. You're basically saying, okay, I don't remember what the allowance was for cleaning, but you're saying, okay, I'm releasing $26,000 for this item, and we're being notified of it. They've got to clean it, and it's just they're tracking the costs, and it's going against the allowance. That's all.
Okay.
It's not
we
a
don't even need
change.
a motion.
It's more of informational than it is
Correct.
cost. So the money is there. We know it's going to have to happen sooner or later. So they're telling us now they're doing it at this point, how they're doing it. That's what this is all about. So
I think we should
Keep us
just
informed.
state in the minutes, Richard Durr again, I think we just state in the minutes, duly noted, and move on. We don't need a motion for something that's, you follow me?
Yeah, it's added as a COP in the record, so we have to have a motion to approve it. So all those in favor, say by saying aye.
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 So approved. Okay. Before we move on, a couple new people moved in. Can we introduce? We got Richard Durr is signed on now, and Lucian, you're there.
Yes, sir.
Lucian is here, signed on. Who else just signed on? I think that's it. So we added 2 more to it. We've got, of course, in our next project with Al Jukunski sitting here listening to us, but he's signed down also. But just want to get it in the record so we know who's here. All right, moving on.
Okay.
To,
Mr. Chairman.
yes.
Yeah, Dick, I just wanted to revisit something we did last meeting, was that when people, especially when they make a motion, they should state their name first so that the clerk can go ahead and keep better track of who's talking. We kind of recognize each other's voices, but, not all of us necessarily.
I think she's well advised. You can see us on the screen. If she has a problem,
Okay, she can see us on screen.
No, I'm not. I'm not on screen.
Okay, she's by phone like myself.
Okay, well, if you have a
Richard.
question, don't be afraid to ask us. And if she has in the past, she can continue to do so. Is there a problem with that?
No, I'm okay.
I thought you were. Okay. Moving on to 170, COP 170,
169.
169.
169. I'm sorry, 169. There it is. Yep. Go ahead. 169. I beg your pardon.
This is a zero cost change order. It's a back charge between 2 trades, between GDA and AMVETS for power requirements at 3 seating rows.
There's no charge to the town. This is switch from one to the other.
That's correct.
As we did before. Okay. All those motion, please.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Moving on now to the next one, 170.
This is in response to RFI 172, and it has to do with new ductwork and diffusers at World Language A202 for exhaust. There is nothing there right now, and they felt that it would be prudent that something was there to provide better air quality in A202.
Who felt?
The RFI was issued, and if you read the RFI response, it was CES who responded accordingly.
Mike responded. He was invited to the meeting tonight, and I'm surprised he wasn't on. because he just emailed me this morning saying he was going to be, so he was actually the support for this.
We can, you know what we can do? We don't have to, if you don't feel comfortable with this right now, we haven't built this. We don't have to, and we can just allow the air to be stagnant, if you will, in that room for the time being.
I think we need to back up on this so before we
Refresh
approve.
my memory, Mark, the room.
I'm sorry?
Question to Mark, the room we're talking about.
Oh, you're coming statically. I can't quite understand what somebody said.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Mark, whereabouts is this?
I think we should put this on hold and, excuse me? Somebody was speaking. Jeff, do you know who that was? I didn't catch it. Okay, so the recommendation is put this on hold. Is that correct? Somebody, again, it's been recommended we put this on hold. Is that a problem? Hearing none, it's on hold. Move on to 171. Hello?
Okay,
Go
171,
ahead.
this is for tracing, cutting and capping an unforeseen circuit at door 130. This work has actually been constructed. It was something that happened in between PBC meetings, something we had to get out of the way. The engineer and the architect are aware of it, and they've reviewed the cost, $427.59 out of scope.
Your motion?
So moved, Bud Kelly.
Comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So approved. Moving on.
Total cop in scope, total cop out of scope. We continue to update the order of magnitude for the water infiltration. You can see that data. Item C is the April requisition approval.
Yep. Moving on.
I'm sorry?
Critical items.
Want to act on that now?
No, we'll get to that when we get to the bills section.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Okay, critical items. We have shipment dates of May 5, 8, and 15. May 5 was actually released on Friday, so we're expecting 75 panels tomorrow.
Okay. All right, next.
And then the other bullet is regarding COVID-19 concerns that we've all had that we're trying to manage on this job.
Okay.
That's it. We have, Jeff, do you want to speak to COP 159 and COP 181, Jeff?
Can you hold on a second, please? Because we have basically backed up on the other. We have change orders number 37 here. What is that all about? In our package.
We already, that was the first one we approved. It's just a copy.
Just a
For
copy.
$111,000.
We approved it.
That was approved. Okay. And the change order 111.
Yeah, he's just giving us a copy of everything we just went through, Dick.
Somebody's getting static. Can't make out what they're saying.
Can you hear me, Dick? Can you hear me? Because Jeff said that that's all the backup for the ones we just went through.
All these numbers are different numbers. That's why I'm asking for this.
No. They're all the same numbers. 111, that's the list we just went through.
All right. Okay. So then we have now, we're down to, where the heck is it? I'm trying to find his invoice. Okay, we have an invoice here for $980,000 and 463.73. The payment for April. We have a motion.
So moved, Mr. Durr.
So moved. Second. Okay, all those in favor of this, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So approved. Okay, so that's approved for $980,463.73. All right, moving on. I guess, are we all set now at the junior high school?
No, hang on one second.
159, right?
Yeah, Mr. Salvatore, Salvatore, because Mr. Shea is a little broken up here in speaking, if he can articulate, that's fine. There are two COPs that didn't make the agenda. And one is critical. One is COP 181 It's low voltage wiring throughout all of the corridors, the E101 corridor and all of the corridors around the gymnasium. It's a result of the electrical inspector coming in and taking exception to the low voltage wiring and requiring it that it all be tied up. So we have those ceilings open. We want to close them. We've got a very good price from J.E. Shea. That COP 181 and the total cost is $3,394.17, and it was vetted by CES and KBA today.
Who's the electrical inspector?
His name is Dwight.
Right, I got it. Okay, he's a well-qualified engineer, electrical engineer as well, so I think that's why he got you on that.
Yeah, this is a typical problem. They open up the seal and they find out that people have left stuff there over the years, and they got to clean it out. So, I mean, yeah, I would agree with this.
Yeah,
it's a great value. It really is. It's a great value.
Yeah,
right.
$3,000. We should do it. I'll make a motion. Richard.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. Any more comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
So approved. 181. Next item.
The last item we have that didn't make the agenda is COP 159. You've seen this before. It's the vanity and sink that you wanted to table in B214 because you were looking for some BOE guidance on that, some BOE correspondence. I think you have that. And I did get a reduction in price from the plumbing contractor to facilitate his work during phase 5. So the total cost for that COP now, COP 159, new PR11, new vanity and sink in B214 is $3,838.28.
We talked about that last month, and the backup you just got. Okay. Any comments? Anybody?
That one had to come down because of the asbestos underneath or something.
That's correct.
That's
okay.
Correct. That's the one.
Okay, I gotta ask. The proposal I have says 42.58.
Yeah. Again, the price was reduced today.
Yeah.
I negotiated it down. I convinced the GRV that they could facilitate the work during phase 5 when they were mobilized for that work, and it would not be a unique trip for them.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
Who is that?
Ryan Burns.
Ryan Burns. Second.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 So approved. Item 159 for $3,838.28 has been approved. Next.
That's it. That's all I have.
That's it. Okay, thank you very much. We move on to, we got Colliers reports here. Collier reports. Any comments? No comments on the Colliers reports? Okay. Moving on, just want to make mention that we got the Collier report dated Monday, May 4th and Monday, April 6th. There are 2 Collier reports in our package that we want to make sure to get into the minutes. Okay. All right. Jeff, anything else? Oops, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Hey, Jeff, you might want to get out and call back in because you have a terrible connection.
Very, very bad connection. We can't hear.
I don't think I can do that. Have you tried turning down your microphone? Because it's clipping is what it's doing.
Something's doing something wrong. All right, we have an invoice from Castle Booze, invoice number 16018.04-20 in the amount of $8,976.56. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
Second. Comments?
Second.
Yeah, comments. Mr. Chairman, Richard
Yes, sir.
Durr again. I just wanted to ask what the status is for the pictures and the drawings that we were going to get
Can you
about
hold
this
on a
drain
second? We
pipe
have a
going
motion.
through.
That's a different item. Let's get this motion passed through and we can talk about that, Richard, in a minute, okay?
I'm sure we could talk about it before we move on to the next item.
No, we have a motion on the floor. We're waiting for a vote. Can we have a vote on this? All in favor of paying Castle Booze by saying aye?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed?
Aye.
So carried. Okay, now, Richard, you have pictures. Yes, we have pictures of the wall showing the,
Yes.
okay, is that what you want to talk about?
I looked through my packet. I didn't see any pictures of this drain pipe near the snow roof.
You got them. I know. Did anybody else get them? No, I'm
I have
doing,
Yes.
Jeff?
No, I did not get them.
Huh.
So that's the question. When
Andrew,
do
you
we?
sent these out, Andrew, right? Andrew?
So I know we've been waiting for an updated plan from KBA, and
Hey,
their new design is to take the water to ground.
Right. But there's a whole bunch of pictures that came through with this, and I didn't know what, nobody else got them?
there's no
I got
pictures
a
of this.
couple.
No,
Hold
not
on.
in the
Back.
motion.
Hold on, one at
Which
a time.
packet was it in?
One I got from Jeff Shea, so
Yeah, I got 4 of them.
yeah, 4. Yes, I got more than 4, so.
I don't recall
There's-
sending those
The
pictures.
very end of the package, there's, let's see, at least 2 of them.
There's
Two
2,
more,
right?
two more pictures. One is well, it's chairs we spoke, and the other one is, I think,
57?
the other's the door.
Yeah, right. That's it. Chairs and a door, no roof.
Yeah, then there's another one, there's 2 more here with the, coming out of the side of the wall over the windows with a bucket down the bottom, and out of the bucket comes a pipe.
Gentlemen,
You see
Mr.
that one?
Ostap,
Pardon?
Mr. Ostap, it's Rico.
Yeah, Rico,
If I may,
go ahead, sir.
apologies for pictures. I'm not aware of what you're exactly talking about. But to give you a rundown very quickly, and Andrew, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. We've had many discussion on this element, obviously. Want to get this thing taken care of. So just kind of browsing the past here. As you know, we installed a drain. We had a lamb's tongue on it. Water's coming out of it at a pretty good capacity when we get a very large rainstorm. Town does not like the fact that it's just bouncing off the roof coming out of the lamb's tongue.
Right.
We took a path to get a proposal for a rain leader pipe, I think as you remember, to apply a splash block at roof surface. There was talk of an alternative to run a horizontal pipe to the nearest drain, which I believe the system can take. However, we were concerned about the horizontal freezing in winter months.
Yeah, Lucian, I think, Lucian, you talked about that before, did you not?
Yes. Okay. We've had some recent discussion based on discussing this with the district and Andrew, and we talked about running the pipe now north along the portion of the facade above the window system and to that north corner per se, down to ground level and into an underground system.
Right.
There is a proposal now on the table for that. So
We don't have the backup on it. We should have backup so we know what's going on, because this thing has been going on now for months.
Mark,
What's the proposal on the table? How much is this going to cost?
Well,
Mark, would you like to just?
yeah, we recently received the PR, and we have 3 contractors involved. I have a modest cost exposure from GRV to rework the lamb's tongue to remove it and get me elbowed out of the face of the wall. Greenwood, our roofer, is pricing up all of the exterior work, all the rainwater leader that'll take us horizontally across the window bank and then down to grade, and then mid-site site development. They've got all from the boot out to the catch basin, and all of the restoration to the property associated with that dig, that pipe installation. So I'm waiting for their pricing to come in. I've put together some numbers myself.
Next month, they'll be on our agenda for next month.
May I just take this is Lucian. I mean, this is this is crazy what we are trying to do, to
Yeah.
tie the roof into underground drain system. I mean, you were trying to put it on the lower roof. So instead of splashing from 50 feet up in the air, bring a downspout to the roof and discharge there. The concern was that you'll freeze the pipe that's on the roof, exposed. But if you discharge the water down at the bottom of the wall and put a splash block, I don't think you'll have a problem with any water splashing all over the place. And if you say, Eric, that the roof can accommodate that additional water, then what's the issue? Why do we have to go all the way to grade to discharge? Or why don't you discharge at grade and leave it sit there at grade? Why do you have to tie into the underground?
Comments?
I think earlier, Lucian, your concern was about the downspout that they had come up with as a solution, freezing.
Yes,
and I agree that's a big problem. We can't have any freezing, and we can't have this look like some kind of cockamamie solution. So
But
I'm not
that
sure.
That was a pipe that they were laying on the roof. So that was the concern. They have a horizontal pipe that's coming from the wall and going to the nearest roof drain and discharging at the roof drain.
Right. Right.
The concern was that the water will freeze in the horizontal pipe on top of the roof.
Right.
So why can't we bring a rain leader down to the roof and let it drain by gravity, find its way to the roof drain? Why do we have to put a horizontal pipe on the roof?
Because you're hoping that water is going to get to that drain.
Right.
When these roofs are in such poor condition, my bet is that water is going to drain at the base of that wall and just flood that window wall and come in down below. You've already done a repair at the base of that window. It was already compromised. Andrew can speak to that.
Do we do a test with a hose, Mark, and see what happens?
Flood it.
I thought you guys flooded it once already. Didn't we talk about that a couple months ago about flooding the roof, Andy?
So I've been very intimately involved in responding to issues on that roof. We've had 2 repairs, and it's the primary concern is just the velocity and amount of water coming down right on the expansion joint right next to the building. So if we could get the pipe to come down and direct the water towards the drain, we may be all right. Part of the concern, though, is that the location of where that hole is, Lucian. If they bring the pipe straight down, you're going to look out the window and see that black pipe.
I'm not saying to bring it straight down. Find a way to go.
No. We revised that. We revised it. It doesn't come down in front of the window. It comes down on the column.
That's right.
All right. But even then, I think what we want to do is not have a long horizontal run. Try to still cant that. Right?
And Lucian, you have an exhaust fan in between where the discharge would be and the drain.
That's an issue. I see it. Yeah, evidently everybody doesn't have a picture of that roof.
So what if the water is draining, right? So we assume that the roof pitches towards the roof drain, right? So what's the difference between that and the heavy rain? It's a lot of water on the roof. It has to find its way around the roof, the exhaust fan, which we assume that the roof curb is sealed, right? I mean, I'm not going to try to find a solution for you, but I mean, this thing we're trying to get 3 contractors involved to resolve this. This is just a plumber, 1 contractor.
We already did that, but it was tabled. It was discounted for freezing. So
but the
design team got away from it and offered an alternative solution, which we're in the process of pricing.
Mark, that was a pipe that was laying on the roof.
We could have cut it back. I mean, if you want to cut back, if you want us to revisit that pricing, Lucian, and just terminate the
No, I want you to find the right way, the right solution. Don't give me. We paid already for this solution that you have, the Kakamimia solution. So get the right solution, and don't give me 3 contractors to tie a roof drain.
I'm not giving you anything, Lucian.
I'm
not giving you anything, Lucian.
You're proposing a site contractor. You're proposing
hold on. One at a time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Suggestion: should we, Mark, Well, let's do this. We can revise the price that you originally gave him, cutting out the horizontal on the roof. Why don't we not only visit the new scenario we were talking about in regard to tying in underground, and then let's take a look. I think there is a yard drain there, but it's a bad corner. Is there not a door down in that corner?
I think there is.
There is a door, yeah.
Yeah, so that might not be great to just discharge.
I mean, how big is that roof that we are trying to drain?
There's a lot of water there.
Water.
It's not a it's a portion of the roof, Lucian. It's a
So how much roof are we draining?
About 400 square feet.
So 400 square feet, that's not a lot of water on 400 square feet.
It seems like a lot probably when it comes out the lamb's tongue, but you are correct.
That's not a lot of water. They can drain by gravity. It can go into the ground. You're not going to flood anything with 400 square feet of roof.
How big is the roof that's below the lamb's tongue that all this water is going on to, where the bad seam is and all that? How big is that roof?
I think I calculated about 5,000 square feet, Mark. Is that what I said?
Yeah, but you're that's probably accurate. I don't know, but that drain is up in front, so the affected area is probably what up to that drain is probably 300 square feet on the low roof.
You got
So
different.
is there any reasonable thoughts, or is it any to replace that first 300 or 400 square feet of roof that where all this water's going to hit to the next drain, rather than going underground, as Lucian has said? You're maybe we're making it too complicated. We got a roof repair. Maybe we need to expand that into a bigger area and fix it correctly, so now the water comes down the downspout, wherever the downspout ends up, whether it's to the left or to the right of the old lamb's tongue. Obviously you don't want it coming down in front of a window, but if we can get that water from 400 square feet, it's not a lot of square footage. Get that 400 square feet of water onto that roof. Right now that roof is compromised. Maybe that section needs to be done over.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good comment. I wanted
later,
to ask
excuse me
you
for a
folks,
second, but later,
are you guys going to
10 years,
re-roof that building
one at a time.
anytime in the near future?
we're going to do that roof over eventually. We'll have to.
Sure, we have to. Andrew, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it's a 20-year-old roof right now. So it's
Be on the agenda next year.
But I think if we can get the water contained in a pipe down with an elbow and a little run away from that window, it will find its way. I'm confident it will find its way to the roof drain. It's just that when it's coming down at velocity straight down on that sensitive area, those joints and seams, that's just asking for trouble, and that's what we get.
So we should still get a price. How much it would cost to do the first, 400 or 500 square feet of roof below the 400 or 500 square feet of roof, the snow roof that's giving us all this trouble, and at least find out what that's going to cost. Because that would solve the problem. I mean, this way the water would drain by gravity to that drain wherever it is.
It's going to be expensive.
Well, it's not going to be cheap though, digging up the lawn.
I think what Andrew is suggesting, I think that's the way we should go. I think that's the most cost-effective solution.
Well, there's a picture showing that. I don't know if Andrew, you got that picture where it shows a side wall where the drain is dropping into a blue bucket, and off the bucket is a drain pipe. Is that what you're talking about?
So right now, what you're referring to, Chairman, is the pictures that I shared with you and with Lucian after our last meeting. And right now, to prevent further damage from occurring, we had to jerry-rig a system with a straight section of 4-inch PVC pipe from the lamb's tongue to a garbage can that's weighted down with a cinder block and has flex pipe out of it that then directs.
Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about, though? Coming down that with a drain?
I think we need something obviously that's more sturdy than that. Yes, a pipe to come out, avoid the window, get down, and then kick out 3-4 feet from that edge seam and have the water find its way to the drain.
Okay. Any other comments, Rich?
I just going to say, when the roof is done over, then you can shorten up that kick out he's talking about, because the only reason you put the kick out is because of the bad seam.
The snow roof, that probably is the problem.
Richard.
Well, no, I know that. Yeah, I know that part.
And that seam, Mr. Durr, just for
Yep.
so you can see it, it's literally, it's the windowsill. It's
Right.
just outside of that window, and that's where this water hits and splashes back. It's just
So the window's only up off the roof how much?
not very much.
A couple of inches, 6 inches?
It looks like about 6 inches. It looks
Yeah,
like.
about 6 inches of freeboard.
Wonderful.
If you redo that upper roof, you may lose that drain anyway. If you redesign that upper roof, you may lose that drain. It may be gone.
And they'll have to raise up that
Redesign.
leader, that downspout, to accommodate the new thickness of the roof to handle all that.
It's
Right.
not in a scenario that it would be in if you look at the new tapered layouts when you do that roof over. That drain will go away.
Yeah. Okay. How's the fan going to be affected that you're talking about? When you do the roof, or you have to remount that fan, which is fine. I'm just pointing that out. That would all be taken care of.
Project, yeah.
I don't know.
I think the key issue here is how do we solve this roof?
Right.
drain?
I think what Lucian said in the end is what we need to do.
There's no work happening at any fan associated with this work.
Okay.
Well, I thought there was some water coming down near that fan if we go to the left-hand side of wherever the lamb's tongue is now. I have no pictures in front of me, so I can't be
I
sure.
don't see it, so I'm not sure.
There's a curb and a fan there, but
It's not-
consideration for that curb and that fan is, none has been made for this work.
I mean, you're not going to have a lot of water, Mark. I mean, it's not like
I'm sorry,
gush
hey,
of water.
Lucian, you know what I mean? However these, however the eggs want to get cooked, I'm good with it. We've been batting this around for a while. I'm fine with dropping this right on the roof. That's fine. We've already proposed on that. It got tabled because there was a concern about a freezing condition. We were taking the drain all the way out to the leader all the way out to the drain, but you're thinking that you don't want to do that now. You want to just terminate it about 3 feet off that window wall, so we can revisit that prior proposal and get that in front of everybody.
Now you're talking.
Okay. Let's
Okay,
do
you're good,
that.
Lucian, with that?
Let's do
Yes.
that.
Okay, I'm good then.
Okay, let's hold off on this and let's go ahead and get another proposal as you just talked about, okay? All right, while we have you, I have a whole bunch of invoices in here from the Robert H. Lord Company.
Dick, those are the furniture FF&E vendors, one of them. Can you
Yeah.
hear me? Is it better now, hopefully?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, it was a setting. Still learning.
Okay. So we have an invoice in front of us that we have a $9,947.30 owed on it. That we have to pass.
I have it at 63,177.35
63.
in the beginning.
In the
And
beginning.
it was signed off by KBA and I think, Andrew, you looked at it too, right?
I don't show that. I go.
Yes.
Right above the first Robert Lord invoice is a KBA.
Yeah, it's on KBA letterhead. Thanks, Rich.
I don't have that. Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, that's the FF&E for the Library Media Center.
Okay. All right. So what's
After
the total,
Colliers Report.
what's the total amount?
63,177.35.
Okay. So we want to talk about that for a second. Andy?
Well, I could say that Casey from KBA was great, and she helped. We inventoried all those items. I think we have just about everything in hand right now. We're still waiting on a couple of other things that did not come in. These small tablet-like desks that you could use on your lap, and a couple task chairs. But otherwise, everything else was present and accounted for.
Okay. Do we have a motion for this invoice?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Oh, so carried. Okay,
Aye.
okay, so carried. All right, anything else on Henry James?
Do we have some Downs invoices we didn't take care of?
Downs?
Oh, we
Colliers.
No, we approved that.
We approved it.
Dick, Jeff Shea, you do have a Colliers invoice?
Yeah, I'm looking for that. That's what I thought.
That's next, right.
Van Zelm.
And the Van Zelm.
It's $6,981.09.
Right. Okay. Did we vote on that already?
We did not.
No,
Okay.
we did not.
Okay,
So
you
moved.
want to make that as a motion?
So moved. Richard
Second?
Zer.
Second, Rich.
Okay. Any further comment on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so approved. Got it. Okay, thanks, Rich. You found that I didn't. Okay, what else?
So,
Anything else? Anything
I'm looking at an invoice from Downs. It says requisition number 13. Printing of construction docs and drawings.
I don't see it.
I think that was backup to the major application for payment from Downs.
Oh, all right. So we already took care of that. That's fine.
Took care of that. That's all done. I found
Okay.
it.
Should have a Van Zelm invoice there though, Dick.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, $3,859.50.
Make that a motion?
So moved. Invoice number 47225.
225, right, okay.
Second.
Okay, any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So approved. Okay, good.
And then there's a Castle Booze invoice at the end of the package, Dick.
Packages with the Castle Cruise voice. I got Van Zelm.
The last page.
I got more papers here in Cargo Liver Codes.
It's the small package.
$8,976.56.
So move.
Invoice number 1601804-20.
Okay. Have a second?
I'll second it, Richard Zer.
Okay, any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Okay. Anything else?
I think you're on to the roof project now, Dick, I believe.
I'm just gonna say, I think we have it all set now, so we're all set for the junior high school. The next item will be the high school roof project. And our friend architect, Al Jakunski, I think I see him sitting here somewhere in the pictures on my screen. Al, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Okay, you want to give us a update what's going on?
Sure. Since our last meeting, we had a PCR meeting, which is a planned completion review meeting via GoToMeetings on April 21st. Kerman Thompson and Tom Rowe from the state participated. Jeff and Andrew participated from the town. Kermit Thompson did request 8 items following that PCR meeting, nothing major. One of the items were signed minutes from the 414 Board of Ed meeting. He wanted us to include the hazardous material reports to identify that there's no hazmat on a project, revised language in the scope letter, wanted to add language to special conditions noting that the building may be occupied during re-roofing operations, wanted to note or equal manufacturers in a warranty paragraph. One item that came up is Kermit Thompson asked why we don't have overflow drains on this re-roofing project, and that's actually not required on a re-roofing project. I reviewed that with Henry Miga. It's building code section 1511.1.2, and Henry did concur with my interpretation. Also wanted an updated project team list and the site analysis form, which wasn't signed. It was signed by Jason, and I forwarded that to him last Friday. I did speak to Kermit today at about 4 o'clock. And he said everything's accepted and we should get our letter to authorize us to go to bid this week. We've already secured wage rates. They're good through May 10th, which is Sunday. So I'm hoping we do get that letter before the end of the week so we can put an ad in the paper. I'll coordinate the dates with Jeff and Andrew. And basically that's it. We're in pretty good shape. Maybe a month behind our original schedule, but still very much on schedule to get the job
You're
done.
looking pretty good. Look pretty good. Andrew, any comments?
No, I thought again that we had a good conversation during that review session, and Al has followed up on everything he's had to follow up on.
Good. Jeff, any comments?
Just concerns that we can get it all done and get a contract signed quickly in this challenging environment that we're in.
Right.
What do you mean?
Everything takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think so too. But any other comments from members of the board? Hearing none?
Nope.
Al, I think you did a good job. Thank you very, very much. We have an invoice number 20130 in the amount of $1,475. So I hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, invoice passes. Thank you very much, Al. I think that takes care of the high school roof. Any other comments from anyone? Hearing none. Al, Jeff, any problems?
Nothing.
Jeff?
Nothing. No.
Thank you. Good night, over and out.
All set. Okay, do I hear for any old business? Okay, now Jeff, just for you, and I guess and Jackie's here too, based on what's going on out here in this great world, this great meeting we're having here on our television sets, is this going to continue on for next month as well?
We haven't had those conversations yet. In that the governor, just announced that May 20th opening. I think later this week we'll have a better idea of what the town's plan might be to open.
Jackie, have you had any comments from Board of Selectmen?
Mr. Chairman, I agree. I think we're going to wait to find out what the governor says. And so they haven't made any plans for meetings after May 20th.
Oh, after May 20th. Okay. So our next meeting is now in June, so we can just wait to see what happens, and hopefully this goes away. We can meet again.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Richard Durr, just want to make a comment about the next meeting.
Yep.
If it comes up and we have to move to a larger venue so we can be 6 feet apart, that's something to think about. You and I talked about this early on,
right,
about meeting in the library or meeting in the cafeteria someplace just so that we'd have more space.
Right.
But let's see what the governor has to say, as Selectman and Jeff said, and we'll go from
I'm
there.
sure the town will tell us, Rich, so I'm not too concerned. They'll say we can or can't do whatever. That's why we're doing what we're doing right now. So,
So,
Curtis, you have a comment?
yeah. So I've been sick for a while. I'm getting better. I'm almost done getting better.
Thank you.
But I don't know what I had. I don't know if I actually had it or not. And I would not want to get into a room with you guys and possibly infect somebody if I happen to be a carrier with no symptoms at that point. So I would appreciate being able to join in some other fashion rather than not go to the meetings.
Well, I guess the question is, we could have a meeting in a room with, 8 of us or 5 of us and put you on the telephone. You can talk to us on the phone and hear us on the phone. Jeff, is that correct?
Yeah, we can even do a Zoom meeting. We can do a hybrid where some people are there and some are not.
Some people aren't, right.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, some of the board members have done that already. You see other boards on TV, you see that where there's 4 or 5 people sitting around. Well, the Board of Selectmen, there's usually 4 or 5 people at a table and the others call in. So it works. Well, let's see what happens between now and June. So, but that's a good point, and I like the discussion. Any other comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you very much.